Hello students, today we are going to start a new chapter, Inheritance, extending classes. Inheritance. The capability of class to derive properties and characteristics from another class is called inheritance. Inheritance is one of the most important features of object-oriented programming. Inheritance allows us to define a class in terms of another class, which makes it easier to create and maintain an application. This also provides an opportunity to reuse the code, functionality, and fast implementation time. The class that inherits properties from another class is called subclass or derived class, and sometimes also known as child class. And the class whose properties are inherited by the subclass is called base class, superclass, and sometimes it's also known as parent class. The class can be derived from more than one classes, which means it can inherit data and function from multiple base classes. Till now in our program, we have seen a class which used to have inside it the data member function, and using class object we used to access those data member and member function, and there were various mode under which these data member and member function were kept under the class was the access specifier, that was public, private, protected. And now in inheritance we will use the concept in which one class can inherit the properties of another, which means now if one class is already created with some member function and data member which is required in a new class also, but some more new data member and member functions are included in the new class, then instead of creating all the data members and member function again for the new class, we use the concept of inheritance, by which the new class can access the members of old class and can use the new features, new members as well. So this help us out to increase uh, the functionality use and the fast implementation, and this help us out to low down the price, the time which is required to make the programs. So through inheritance concept we generally move from most general to most specific. When one class is inherited by another, the class that is inherited is called base class, and inheriting class is called the derived class, as we already seen. Now we are going to see how we will write this in a program. So for writing this in our program, we will use a format which is the declaration format for our program. That is, for creating a new class, we will write class and the class name. Okay, here we have written derived class name. So the new class which we are making, which is also known as subclass, derived class. So first we will write the keyword class as we used to do earlier also. So keyword class and then the new class name, that is the subclass or derived class or child class. Okay, these all three names are given to the same new class. Okay, we can say anything. and after that we will use colon and then access specifier. As I told you that uh, earlier in we have access specifier, that is public, private and protected. We already did, you can see the previous video lecture. And in access we will use either public, private or protected. So after, if we are writing here public for example, then public and the base class name, that means the class which is already there. So and then whatever things we used to write inside the class, that is our class members, that will be kept under this pair of curly braces. Okay, open, and then we will write all the contents and then we will close, and as we used to do in earlier class format. So here we have seen, and here one semicolon will be used after closing your class. Okay, and so this is the declaration format for inheritance. Okay, we will see it now in a program how we will use this inheritance concept, and let's see using a program now. Okay, in this program we are going to understand how the concept of inheritance is applied in a program. So in this program we are going to see two classes. One is the base class and another one is subclass. So I have given the name base for the base class and another class which is sub. Okay, so two class we are creating in this program. Base, one name is, class name is base and another class name is sub. So the members of base class we will inherit in subclass. That means we want to inherit the members of base class into the subclass. This concept is only known as inheritance. So the method, which the format which we looked just now, so that same format we will use. So now first we will create the base class, which is same as the way we will do as we used to do it earlier. So class is base, we have kept the name as base. We can take any another name also, so don't be confused, just it is to make it clear that this is base class. Okay, so we have taken the class name as base, and now inside this we have taken access specifier public and two data member, that is name and roll, and a member function enter. In this member function we have kept the codings to take the data, okay, to enter the data for name and roll. So inside this we have taken a text color, okay, and green plus blink. That means whatever we will write in cprintf under this parenthesis and inside this pair of double quotation, this all content will be printed in green and also blink. Okay, like the cursor is blinking here. Okay, so after this we have written endl, so it will move to the next line, and after that we have written cin. That means after reading this message, enter your name and roll number, user will enter name and roll number. So the data which we will receive from keyboard, first value for name or whatever thing is typed in characters, alphabets, that will be stored in name, and the second one is roll number. So after pressing enter button, whatever user will write numbers, that will be stored in roll. So this in member function enter, this thing will happen. Okay, so after this in enter we have closed this function, and one more function, member function, we are using here in this class base, that is display function. So this member function, what we are going to write the codings for displaying whatever data is entered. Okay, in enter function we are using we are taking the inputs from the user, and in display function we are displaying the contents to the user. Okay, so in display what we have kept, we have taken background color as yellow. So cprintf check your details, here enter details, check your entered details. So this message we have given, and then endl, and then cout name. Okay, so this name will be printed, and then name. So this is a variable, so whatever value we will receive here from the user, that will be printed in this name, and in roll number whatever value we will receive, that will be printed here in roll, and this will be printed same as it is. So inside display this code we have kept. Now here we have closed the our class base. Okay, inside the class base we have kept these things. Now again we are creating new class, which is our subclass or derived class, and we want that this subclass can access these members and data members and member functions of class base. So what we have to do, we have to inherit. So for inheriting those members of base class, we will write like this: first class, and then our new class name is sub, then colon, and after that the access mode. Here we can write public, private or protected. So now we are using public, and then after writing public we are writing from which class we want to inherit. So we want to take the contents or the members of which class? The class name is base. So the class name is base. So after writing this access mode, we will write the name of class. So our class name is base, from which we want to access the members. Okay, so this line is only allowing us to inherit the property of base class inside the subclass, and now subclass can access the base class members also, and in subclass we are just keeping few member, only one member, that is print. Okay, which is member function. So I have kept here public. Under public we have taken one member function print. Here is no data member, we have not used any data member, just a member function, and inside this function we have given a message thank you, and we have used endl, so that if any space is next line we can move if required. So cprintf we have used, so thank you will be printed in whatever color we have set. Okay, so here we have closed this function, and we have closed this class. This subclass was opened here, and it's closed with a semicolon. So format is same, just we are using this added colon and access mode, and the class which we want to inherit the property, from which we want to inherit properties. Okay, so we are done with our class. First class is base class and another class is subclass. Now in main function, clear screen we are using, and the base class we have two class. So we to access the members of base class we need one object, and to access the members of subclass we want its object. So for base class we have written base and then b. So b is our object for class b, and sub and then s. So s is our object for class sub. Now listen carefully. Here we can access using S object. Okay, the object of subclass can access all the members of base class and the members of subclass also. So because we have used the concept of inheritance. Okay, so using this S object we can access enter, which was in which class? Base class. Display, which was in base class. And print is in print function is in subclass, but these enter and display, these both are in base class. But using subclass object, that is S, we can access all the members. Okay, because we have inherited. Get ch closed. Now let's see what should happen after this. After creating object, we have called enter class. So in enter, what things will happen? Enter your name and roll number will be printed in the screen, and after that we will enter, the user will enter the value for name and roll number, and closed. Then we'll go back to next executing line. Enter is executed, this function is executed. Now next function is display. So display, again display will be executed, then what will be printed? This will set the color, and this first line will be printed after this content. This will be printed in display. Check your entered details, and then name and whatever name will be entered by the user, and the roll number, same for the roll number. And this is closed. So this function is also closed. Now back to next in main function. Next function is print. So using as object we have called print. So in print, what will be printed? NL, that will move to next line. The cursor will move to next line, and then thank you message will be printed. So print function is also closed here. So execution complete for print, and then get ch, which will hold the output screen to see the output, and here it is closed. Okay, so this is how this program will work. Now let's see, compile it, success, no error. Now run it. See, the first in enter function we have written this line, enter your name and roll number, and we have set the color green and plus blink we have written, so it is blinking. Now after reading this message we have to do as instructed. So first enter your roll number and name and roll number. So first I am writing one name, let the name be Neha. Okay, so after writing this name, press enter, and now one more thing we have to enter, that is roll number. So for roll number I am writing 23, and now enter. See, after pressing enter, what thing is being executed? Next line was display. So display function is working. So check your entered detail, this was the message in display function, and then the name and roll number. And in print function we have written thank you. So this is how the sequence is going. First the enter function is executed, then display function is executed, and then print is executed as we have written in the main function. So here just always keep in your mind that first we have to see which function is to be called. So we cannot call display function before entering the data. If we will call display function first, then we don't have the value for name and roll number, then it will show garbage value. Okay, so we can see it how, like if we will not call enter function, let it, we have used this comment, this slash double slash we have used. So now this is taken as it is not the part of program. Okay, think like it is not not in the program. So now see, name and roll number. because we have not called the enter function, so we have not taken the value from the user, so there is no value in name and role variable, so some garbage value is printed. So this is what I was saying. And now we will remove this, so now the sequence will go correctly. Then it will, we have to write some name again, Rima, let the roll number be, enter, and then roll number. So see, Rima roll number. So this is how. But now here, because we have used the subclass object, so that's why we are able to call enter, display, print, all of these, because we have used the concept of inheritance. So it can also call, but inside this we have print, but it is also able to call using object enter and display. But let's see what B can do. B is not in this program, we are not inheriting B. Base class is not inheriting the properties of subclass. So if we will write here B for S, okay, here using B object, base class object, we can call enter, we can also call display, but we cannot call print. Why? Because print function is member of subclass. Okay, so B inside base class we were having enter and display, so there will be no problem. Okay, see now also Rina 54, so it is working. But if we will try to call print using B object, because it is the object of class B, then what will happen? Some error is there. Why? Because print is not member of base. Okay, here one message is also coming. Why error is there? Print is not member of class base, and because print is not member of class base, here you can see base class object is B, and using B we were accessing print, but print is member of class sub, and here we can see inside base class, whose name is base, inside base we are using, we have enter and display, so there was no problem in displaying or executing enter and display. But print is not the function of member function of class base, that's why error is coming. But using object S, which is subclass, we were able to access all the members because of concept of inheritance. So this is the concept of inheritance, and using this we can access members of any class just by writing the proper this declaration of inheritance. Whatever class we want to access using new class, we have to write this. So this is the concept of inheritance. Hope you all understood. So this is the output I have received from you all, and in last video lecture I have told you to make a program on destructor, so this is on it. And today you have to make a program on concept of inheritance. So now we have used the concept of inheritance, so take one class, you can take any name, not necessarily base, but today we have seen in a program we have taken it base and sub, so that you can understand which is the base class and subclass. You can take any name for the class as we used to do it before, and come up with new ideas and do some experiment with your program and use the concept of inheritance. Very good, and God bless you all. Thank you.